Right, this week we've got update on EWK and an update on the black TR7 Premium, and we've also got the purple Stag back in. So we'll get into it and let you know what we've done. Right, EWK. So if we have a quick look at EWK, the panel alignment is now fully finalised. As I think last week we left it where the engine bay was all primed, inside was all primed, etc. So the final panel alignment is now done. They just need a few more little tweaks just so we're really happy with them. We're now back on with the prep work on the outside of the car. So the majority of it is done on the other side. Just needs a bit more finishing off. That was done when I last worked on it. So we're on this side now. So if we watch the carpet, we'll explain that in a minute. So if we look straight on at the door, straight on, it's nice and flush. You've got absolutely lovely gaps all the way around. It's nice and flush all the way around. Same with the bonnet. The bonnet needed a little bit of tweaking to get the curvature of the bonnet right, as the bonnet was too straight compared to the front wings. Both panels are genuine panels. Never had front wings on this car. The bonnet is an original bonnet, so we had to sort of bend the bonnet a little bit and put a bit more of a curvature in the bonnet so it followed the front wings nice. We now tweak the front of the bonnet because it was slightly proud of the front panel, and get that as it should be. Same with the boot lid. The boot lid, you're not going to be able to see it because it's high up. The gaps down the side, really good. Gap across the back, absolutely lovely and even. But on the very back face of the boot lid, one side was sticking out slightly and the other side was nice. So again, the boot lid, the very back of the boot lid needed a little bit of a tweak to get the back end in. So it all lines up, and then we can get on the prep work. So yeah, the panel gaps are now absolutely, well, I don't think you'll get any better on any car, let alone a TR7. So they're really, really nice now, which is what obviously the owner wants. It's one of the reasons why it's here, as we like to make them absolutely spot on. The black TR7 Premium. So the right hand side is now completely finished. If we go around this side, so we've got the floor pan repairing. I made the panel for the front floor, cut it out and welded it in. The back end was done last week, and inner arch on this side is now all done as well. I've got plenty of pictures of that. So that is this side done, and we've started on the other side, and I've got some little videos of that, which we'll put in now, and then we'll move on to the purple Stag. Right, we're still working away on the black TR7 Premium. So the right hand side is now all done. I'll show you some of it if you can see. So we've got all the inner arch repaired, back to as it should be. Fuel lines all reinstated and back on, as I had to remove it to do the weld on this side. It's all seam sealed, all up inside the rear deck as well. We showed that last week. Rear floor pan, I've repaired the front floor pan. I made a piece to put in there, and I've just put a little bit of seal around the weld once I cleaned it off, just to make sure it is nice and sealed for him. And obviously we're going to be re-stone chipping the underside. I'm going to scrape most of the loose stuff off and re-stone chip it all for him. But come around the other side. I'm starting on the left hand side, which is not as bad. It needs a front floor pan, but the back, it hasn't all broken away. So the train arm doesn't need to be removed. I can repair it all in situ. So I've just removed these two lumps of aluminium plate that were riveted in, which is a similar situation to what the other side had. And you can now see all this fiberglass in here. So all of this is just fiberglass, which I've got to get out, as I've got to repair the rear deck from inside, and obviously repair the inner arch. So this has all got to come out, as well. I can't do any sort of welding, as it will completely go up in flames.
especially one from the other side, as I'm working just the other side of this when I'm repairing it. So it's all got to come out, which is a nightmare. So we'll get some pictures of it when it's out and see what we're left with. But this side isn't anywhere near as bad. Hopefully it'll be a bit simpler. And once I get rid of all this fiberglass, which that's this morning's job, trying to get this out. So we'll crack on with it and see how it goes. Right, I got all the fiberglass out. You can see a small lump of it there. Up there. There's one lump of it. I'll show you what's left in a second. Here's another big lump of the fiberglass that was in there. So it's obvious why I couldn't do any welding on it with all this going right up inside the car. As if that catches fire, well, you're in trouble. Another lump that was on the end of the inner sill. So what we've got left, well, that's what's left. So that fiberglass was all literally, you can see where it was in here, just completely covering this up. So, and this is the rear deck panel, what's left of it inside the car. See the wire loom there, so I'll have to move that out of the way. The inner sill, so that needs a small repair on the end of the inner sill, which is rotten. You can just see it there, got a bit of rot here. So I'll probably do this first. I'm going to put a piece on the end of the inner sill and re-spot it up so it's all as it should be. I'll probably do that, yeah, first of all, just so it's solid again there. And then obviously I can then start sorting out all this rear deck panel. I can go ahead and get the floor out, rear level floor out, do the rear deck repair, put a new edge on the lower rear deck like I did on the other side, and put the floor pan in. So yeah, that's not nice. Why people do this sort of repair on these cars, it's just ridiculous. I mean, this is a structural area that people are doing this to. Hence why the other side, actually, the train arm ripped off completely. It's lucky enough the owner wasn't actually driving any sort of speed when it happened, because if he was, well, the car would probably be a write-off by now, as it would have had quite a nasty accident. So it's dangerous doing this sort of stuff. Don't do it. Just repair it properly. If you don't want to repair it properly, well, you shouldn't be owning the car then, should you, really? It's as simple as that. So yeah, don't do it. And this is one of the reasons why classic cars should still have an MOT on them. I mean, even with that in there, it was obvious it was all fiberglassed up. So any MOT tester would be able to fail it because it's visible that it's fiberglass, not metal. So yeah, this is 100% the reason why classic cars should have an MOT still. It's wrong that they don't. I mean, yeah, I run classic cars myself, but I check them regularly, and I know for a fact I can put any of my cars into an MOT and it'll pass. It won't pass emissions, obviously, but it'll pass everything else. So yeah, don't do bad repairs like this. Right, now I've got the end of the sill repaired there. So put a complete new end on the inner sill, as that was completely rotten, and so was the bit attached to the inner arch. So got a bit more clean up work to do yet, as it's really difficult to get down into here, right in this corner. So a bit more clean up work to do on this piece, but it's all spotted back up and nice and strong. So now we've got the strength back in the actual sill. I'll take out this rear deck and repair all this. So whether that'll be today or not, I mean, it's Friday now, and it's now about, well, getting on for about 3:30. So I probably won't be starting that today, probably be a tomorrow job. Get that rear deck repaired, and get the floor out and sort that out, and then just repair this inner arch in here where it's had that big plate riveted in. So put a piece straight through there, and then that'll be good as well.
So as you saw from the little videos, the amount of fiberglass and filler that was put into the structural areas on this TR7, it's just an absolute joke. And like I said, I do believe these classic cars should still be MOT'd. It's ridiculous that they don't need a check of some sort. Tax exempt, yep, I agree with that. That's brilliant. The car's been on the road for X amount of years. Yeah, they should be like tax exempt, but the MOT, no, they should be MOT'd. The amount of death traps that I get in here, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's not just your own life you're putting at risk driving something like that when it's hanging together, it's other people's as well. So it's just stupid. These are the carpets for the premium, and it's the original one-piece molded carpet for the car. It's actually in really good condition, but it was orange. I don't know how the camera's going to pick it up at the moment, as it's still a little bit damp. It needs another wet vac, but we've managed to re-dye it back to the brown that was underneath the seats. So it'd be nice to keep the carpet, original carpet in it, because one-piece carpets, they're hard to come by, especially in good condition. The sill carpets are done as well. They're over there drying. I mean, once it's dried, it's going to look pretty good. I mean, it should be like a light browny colour like this, and you can see in areas where it is a lot drier than others at the moment, it has gone back to its light brown, which is it's good. Weren't sure if it was going to work, but it did. The young lad that owns the car, he came in yesterday, and I helped him do the carpets, and they come out very nice. So they can be fitted once we've finished the welding, which shouldn't be too long now. I'll be back on it probably Wednesday to carry on with the welding. That's purely because we've got this purple Stag back in. If anyone remembers, if we go around the front of it. So if you go back probably for 2 years now, I built this Stag about 2 years ago. It arrived to us as basically a painted rolling shell with the engine and box in it, and we were tasked with rebuilding it all and getting it back on the road. And it is all back on the road now. Well, it was then. So it left here, went straight to the MOT station, as the owner of this car does actually keep his classics MOT'd. He likes to have the peace of mind that they are good. So it left here, went to the MOT station, got its MOT, and he's been using it ever since. And it's now back in for gearbox oil leak. It's an automatic, got a Borg 135 in it, and it's leaking a considerable amount of oil out the gearbox. And it's also in to have the paintwork brightened back up. It's going to have a good clean, a good polish. We'll get plenty of pictures before and after, as it's got quite a few swirl marks in it, just marks from where it's been cleaned for the last 2 years, wiped down with cloths and things like that. So it's in to have just a good polish and a brighten up and a gearbox leak. So that's where we're up to this week. Next week, potentially got a Land Rover coming in as well. It's actually the Land Rover that had the blown 2.25 litre diesel from a few weeks ago. We took the bottom sump off of it and found it got major bearing failure, where the owner has sourced another engine. It's actually a much more modern engine. He's gone for I think it's a 2 litre turbo diesel engine to put in it. So we've got to try and graft that engine into the front of the vehicle for him, which will be fun. Then next week, not this week coming, so the week after, we've got another Stag coming in as well for a starter motor issue. It's not cranking. Just busy at the moment as normal. So along with what else we've got as well. So get this black premium done and sorted out so the owner can have it back. Hopefully by the end of the week we should be close to having that one finished. We can get back on with the white one, as that's sat quite patiently at the moment with the engine there waiting for it to go back in. So yeah, very busy. But yeah, hopefully we'll get through it all. That's pretty much all we've got this week. But yeah, can't really think of anything else. So it's been a little bit of a quick video this week, as we're going to jump in RSD1 Rover and go to the local classic car show. So we'll get some pictures of that while we're there as well, as long as all the cars are still there. As it's getting a bit late now. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.